Having a Beatrix, having a Iesf, and using it to actually poke around, and then that way they can just maintain their position in the center of the objectives, right? Near the Lord, near the turrets, and they're going to force Malaysia to jump into them. And of course, with the right tools, it's going to be very difficult for the Malaysians to get a successful dive in.
Or maybe they can... Oh, there you go. I would like to say if they don't want to ban out this Kaja, they can ban out this Matilda for Yams. We've seen how strong Matilda in the long steam fight, right? With the circling eagle and also the guiding wind. They can go in pen. So it's gonna left a Leomort and even Martis.
Martis, you're right.
Akai. So we got or maybe Beatrix.
Beatrix, as a first pick though, it's a bit dangerous. The Youth Song, by the way, it's also a hero that is very situational, but in the right hands, against the right kind of composition, we have seen that it is absolutely devastating. The Cambodians were almost able to flip the previous game we were seeing against the Indonesians, off the back of a very, very well played Youth Song play. But Malaysia will take that Matilda, that mobility Momo-chan that you were talking about is just absolutely useful for this aggressive playstyle that the that the Malaysian sensations absolutely enjoy.
Agree with that. But we forgot about one hero that actually are available as well. Arashi, it's funny.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
I completely
But
forgot about the Fanny.
I never seen both of the jungler from both of the teams play funny. So it's quite interesting because it's not become a prior hero for both of the teams. It's gonna be Benedetta Pick and also Farsia for Philippines. It's quite interesting because Philippines, they are more into how they secure their high ground defensive with Farsia, with the with the maybe one Federal Eye Strike, and also the stun that comes from the energy impact, and also the Curse of Crow.
Not to mention, having the wings by wings allows.
Agree.
We know that Imam on that mid lane, he is so aggressive. He is known as the KDA King, I believe. I might be butchering this nickname, but he is very solid at actually chasing that kind of aggression, going to the other lanes. But for Malaysia, that is going to be the Yutong and the Beatrix. But hang on, Philippines with a very quick hover over this Dairoth.
Okay, Dairoth. Actually, it's very, very interesting because if we talk about Philippines and also maybe Malaysia, we talk about the, surprise pick that can comes from both of the teams here. But the problem is, picking Dairoth before the second banning phase, is it worth it? Even though we not prior this Dairoth as a jungler for the team here, but the problem, they can pick Dairoth for the last pick later as a surprise pick. But I think Philippines has another
Option?
strategy or another, I think they have another strategy, but it's gonna be a Leslie pick. They have to secure the gold lane first before the second banning phase started.
Because otherwise, Malaysia will be very happy to ban out away most of the marksmen available for Soriano. He is one of the main pillars of the Philippines, and now you really start to see these compositions like take some kind of form. For the Philippines, long range is definitely an option, but having that Benedetta, I feel is quite interesting. It can still be used in the jungle, or it can be used in the AXP lane. The mobility will definitely be very useful. But for Malaysia, it seems like aggression all the way is what it's gonna be. So with that in mind, the Philippines ban away that Gusion, and for the Malaysians, they want to make sure that the Fredrin will not be a problem, will not be a nuisance that will taunt and stop that dive coming in towards that back line. The very vulnerable Farsa as well as the Leslie.
Okay, it's interesting because we've seen Dapada. The other hero, is it gonna be Benedetta jungler or is it gonna be Benedetta XP lane? Because when you've seen Farsia in the hand of your opponent's side, right? You have to pick at least one hero that can goes into the backline here, which is Malaysia already secured their Yuzong. But moving into the second banning phase here, we won't see Gashan and also Leomort, and also there's no Fredrin. Or maybe Malaysia, they can ban out that Paquito just in case this Benedetta goes into the hand of Del Rosario.
Banning away some crowd control, but whoa, that is the option they go for. Banning away the Estes, that is some respect going in from Malaysia so far. There is a lot of damage, but maybe not quite enough to burst through the blessing of the Moon Goddess. So, with Estes out of the picture, the Philippines will need to secure something else to guarantee the safety of their back line. It will be the Lolita, it seems. Numenon Blast can be used as a deterrent, except if Malaysia can stop the channel, and that can spell doom for the Philippines roster.
Yeah, it can be a counter for Batrix Nibiru's patient as well, right? So the Guardian Bulwark from Lolita is very, very useful and effective to counter all of the range damage that Malaysia has right now. With Akai as the jungler for Malaysia in the hand of Chico guys. All of the objective can be completed got by Chico guys here. Meanwhile, there's gonna be the last pick comes from Malaysia, which is we need one more tanky hero or maybe another support here just in case this Matilda goes into the roamer position, right? So they need one magic damage here from Malaysia. Is it gonna be Kagura, or maybe they want to go for the for Lilia as the burst damage in the early here? Kagura seems gonna be a solid pick for Malaysia.
We haven't seen the Kagura that often, And that Akai pick, by the way, is quite smart. If the Benedetta is going to the EXP lane, then having a Akai in the jungle will allow the Philippines to disengage from the majority of the fights. But now Malaysia has control for the neutral objectives, and they can go aggressive with a heavy spin as well. The Philippines are hovering over the Barretts, but will that be enough? Usually, the slow mobility means that he'll require a lot of assistance if he wants to be active in that early game.
Yeah, I think for the crowd control, Philippines has it enough though. They have enough for the crowd control here. They have the petrifier coming from Benedetta. They have the stun coming from the stun coming from this Farsia, and also the stopper that come from the Nomian Blast of Lolita, right? So Barretts could be the option, and there you go. It's gonna be a solid draft ban and pick from both of the teams, looking very strong. But we will see how about the initiation that comes from this both of the teams, and who will take the game number one. But how about you, RSC? You seems that you have some vision about the draft pick. Because I heard that from the second match just now, you came from the future.
I came from the future, and Future Man here thinks
Future
that
Man.
the Malaysians, they have a lot more options to play around with. We saw what that means when we saw the Indonesians go to a very close game with the Cambodians, right? The longer the game goes, the more options you have, it's just better because now you can feint around and just confuse your opponents. I feel like the Philippines, it's a solid composition, but it's not nearly as flexible. Whereas for Malaysia, right now, they have a lot of tools and they have a lot of ways to just confuse you, right? Are they going to engage with the Yin Yang Overturn? Are they going to go with the Circling Eagle? Are they going to go with the Black Dragon form, the Petrify Furious Dive? Or are they going to go with everything else that they have?
Yep.
Heavy spin as well. But now we go straight into the Land of Dawn for the match between the Philippines and the Malaysians. Let's get straight into it, Momo-chan, as the junglers are just clearing as fast as possible, setting the tone for what is possibly a very intense early game.
Okay, but Yams trying to invade the jungle. Both of the teams, actually, both of the jungler, they succeed to get their own buff without any aggressive invasion coming from both of the roamer here. Meanwhile, Imam knows that actually Yam's waiting there, and there's no engagement coming from Philippines towards that, the Little Wanderer here. Meanwhile, Chico guys prepare for that. One more level to get the level 4 from both of the jungler and Moon. Tries so hard to clear the minion as soon as possible.
Especially against a Farsa, it's very difficult as well.
Yep.
When we're talking about rotations, it all comes down to wave pressure as well. And so far, it does seem like it is even. Both players are actually going aggressively in the bot side though here. It does look like Dappadap gets very, very low. Not quite enough though, but Formace now has pressure. He can rotate, he can push, and definitely the members from the Philippines will be looking out for him.
Yeah, agree. Now, I think if we talk about the line management here, we know how smart Philippines try to play more objective here. With the passive play style coming from Philippines, I think it's going to be an advantage as well for Malaysia if they want try to force the team fight. Because Chiku, guys, he already has that heavy spin. He can go for the initiation anytime that he wants. And Momo, maybe, or even Moon can try to follow up the heavy spin.
Ooh, trading here coming in from Soriano though. Very aggressive. And Momo is out-traded, but in the bottom side, Neo gets secured by Del Rosario. And that will be a small victory for the Philippines. No kills just yet, but the Feather Airstrike is being used in the bottom side. Formace is safe from all that pressure, but the Philippines showing some aggression right here, wanting to take control and take the initiative in the early game.
It's interesting because Chiku, he didn't use that retribution on the turtle, so it will let the Philippines can secure the turtle objective right now. And let's see, Formace trying to chase Dappadap away. Meanwhile, it's not gonna be a solid, or maybe they don't want to force the skirmish at the bottom lane.
Chico guys with the heavy spin used defensively. Numeron Blast being charged up by Villa Luna. It does land onto Moon, and that will be followed up by a stun, but everything else is being poured out. Feather Airstrike will be able to almost secure the kill, but the flicker is being used very defensively, and the Malaysians are on the lookout. It seems like the Philippines are not done just yet though. Del Rosario is walking up to the purple buff, most of the ultimates from the side of the Philippines have been used right here. So it's a dangerous situation. The retribution comes in, and it does seem like Chiku was able to secure its own buff. There was an intense exchange off the back of aggression of the Philippines yet again.
Yeah, I just feel that now Philippines is going back into their, old Philippines play style here, playing a bit aggressive, trying to invade into the opening jungler. But they have to be careful because Del Rosario needs to find that passive. He needs to be a big guy to give more damage towards Malaysia. So it's not easy for Del Rosario as well. If he wants to really to make some initiation, all the Philippines really need to follow up very fast.
For sure. I mean, right now, it does seem like the Philippines are aggressing, and that is not what the Malaysians want. Right here in the late game with a Leslie, with a Farsa, that's a lot of damage they're facing. So the early game is where they're supposed to get a bit of an advantage. Maybe in the mid game, they're going to ramp it up. In the bottom side, though, it's non-stop action between Formaze and Dapadap, just trading it out. The Turtle is being contested, though, in the mid side. Moon and Iman just trading out skills. Yin Yang Overturn is being used, and Iman is taken very low. It won't be enough, though, as Dapadap and Villa Luna makes the play. That will be the stun located onto Moon, and that is first blood taken by Dapadap coming in from the XP lane.
It's totally a benefit for Philippines because they get the turtle. They also got Moon in the mid lane, which is a bit questionable here for Malaysia because Chiku are not able to get the turtle objective here. Meanwhile, Del Rosario and also Villa Luna keep disturbing Malaysia, trying to invade the jungle as fast as possible because we know actually Chiku, he has to play a little bit brave. I think he has to, do an aggressive movement here since he has that heavy spin, and I just feel that Yams sometimes he's ready for the big team fight here. But the problem is we didn't see it coming from Malaysia.
Formaze outside the map, trying to buy some time. He gets taken out by Del Rosario, though, and that will be a turret taken by Dapadap as well. The Malaysians, they're not getting enough steam in the early game. Right here, with that Akai pick, they are not able to secure any mutual objectives, and Imam will be the main target here, but he wings us away, and Dapadap comes in with the Electro Final Blow. Moon is now the main target for Dapadap, but again, no real action just yet. Both teams very disciplined, but Dapadap, very bravely makes the play. Yin Yang Overturn does not land, and non-stop action as Jumps gets stunned, and Soriano already having quite a bit of damage. It's going to be even worse once the game gets longer into the late game.
Yeah, but now Dapadap still looking for more and trying to do some Phantom Slash towards a Malaysian team here. Meanwhile, this is what makes maybe all of the EXP laner very comfortable with this Benedetta because even though the heavy spin connect just not like Chiku did, Dapadap still able to run away with the eye for an eye. So there's no CC can connect to Dapadap really easily. He just can easily avoid it.
It seems like Imam, he is not using the Feather Airstrike to, he's not saving it as much as possible for the fights. He has no problems using it to clear waves to get that pressure. Moon here will be late to the party as he gets zoned away by Dapadap, but the Black Dragon form from Formaze is used to contest. Del Rosario will secure the turtle, and now a full fight breaks open as everyone is mixed out apart with each other. Formaze will be taken very low, but he's still sustaining. The heavy spin has been already used though. Villa Luna in the front, taking some damage, getting taken out, but Soriano takes a kill, and Imam gets one as well. That is a 2-for-1 so far, and the fight is not over yet. Snipes from Soriano take some HP bars away from the side of the Malaysians, and with 3 men available, they are going to go straight for the top turret.
It's 2-for-1 trade coming from Philippines, and now they even got more turret objective in the top lane. Meanwhile, the ultimate snipe from Soriano is not enough to take down Moon, but almost. Dapadap cancel that recall from Moon.
Dapadap is so aggressive right now. Goes in no hesitation. Imam uses the Feather Airstrike, takes Momo very low. Villa Luna though is alone right here as a 1v1 is happening in the orange buff area. Del Rosario uses the Daytona's Welcome. He will be able to secure the orange buff, and Chico is not having a good time at all. Only a Sky Guardian helmet so far.
Yes, with the 3 turtle objective for Philippines, they have a lead from the gold right now. It's 4K gold lead by Philippines, and it's very a good start for Philippines in the early game until at least maybe if they keep snowballing, until the mid game here, let Zoriano got the item, I think it will be a game for Philippines.
Ooh, feathered airstrike though chunks Moon down very, very low, half HP with 1 or 2 volts only. Chiku also down to half HP before anything even happens. This kind of poke damage allows the Philippines to actually have a bit more control before the fight even breaks out.
Maybe Malaysia, they are waiting for something to happen, you know. Maybe they are trying to give some space for Momo to just keep farming until they are ready for the big team fight here. But until when? Because now Imam,
That's a combo. Feathered airstrike with the snipes. Youngs will block the bulk of the damage, but Villa Luna looks for an opportunity. No man on blast is being charged up. He goes in, he stuns Momo, but there's no follow-up. Chico guys in the back denying a lot of follow-up. Yin Yang overturn is being used, but that will be Villa Luna caught, pushed away back down under the turret of the Malaysians. Yums spots Dap, but Moon will be targeted with the Daytona's welcome. Del Rosario lands it. He gets stunned. He gets jumped on. That is Del Rosario setting up for Dap, and the Philippines once again comes out on top as the Lord is actually spawning.
that's really a good follow. They're coming from Dap, and now Philippines, they are seems want to end this game as soon as possible. They are trying to get all of the objectives they can, and the Lord has spawned in the minute number 9, and Forme is trying so hard to defend. But look at that, Rose Soriano with the ultimate snipe, and Forme is gonna be the last bullet for Soriano.
Imam picks up yet another kill, and Chiku gets chunked low again and again. Dap looking for the kill right now as Chiku is forced to retreat. Petrify is being used as well. He is so low, but it might be too dangerous. Villa Luna, though, charges the Numen on Blast. It won't even be necessary as Dap will secure that kill on his own. That is 2 members down so far, and the Philippines will not waste any time at all. Del Rosario beating down on this Lord.
Did you see the zoning that Philippines do just now in the bottom lane? Just make sure that Chiku will be able to get shattered down. Meanwhile, the Feather Extra comes in again from Imam, trying to shoot all of the Malaysian people here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, we've seen a lot of snowballing moment here for Philippines, right, Arashi? This is gonna be a dangerous situation for Malaysia if they are still being driven away by Philippines.
They need a combo right here. If they go for pickoffs, the range from the Philippines right now, the Feather Airstrike and the snipes from Soriano is definitely too far for them to contend with. They have to find a chance to catch these members before like this. Moon gets bursted down, Feather Airstrike is used, the final bolt will not land, flickered away by Moon, but that is Soriano just waiting for an opportunity, and they can just keep doing this again and again.
Alright, and now Philippines, they just need to wait. The Lord is already marching down into the top lane. They want to again and again, you know, this is the typical playstyle coming from Philippines, right? They want to secure another point kill, and Formace is gonna be the first target to get shattered down, to be finished off in the jungle.
Just like that, your EXP laner, your tankiest member gets bursted down without even using a lot of resources from the Philippines. In the bottom side, Dap relentlessly pushing down, and look at Del Rosario. He is just standing up in the front. He doesn't even care. He's way too tanky to mind the damage coming in from the Malaysians.
But now Lord is already going in, trying to pushing, but the Numen setup is already being cancelled by Yams, and I think there's still one more. The Federacer comes in from Imam, and the ultimate slime is already still being able to survive from Yams.
Formace though with the Petrify gets a shutdown as well. That is 3 members down for the side of the Philippines. The Malaysians strike back. It seems like they want some more, but the Philippines back away. They understand that the Malaysians have gained some momentum. Gold advantage swinging back. Only 6K right now with more members on the map.
Yeah, it's really a good setup. Numen Blast actually being cancelled away by Yams using the circling eagle, and also Formace comes in the perfect timing using the Petrify, connects to 3%. And after that, he used the Fury Dice to, you know, get all the lifesteal that he wants to from Philippines.
That is what they required. A big engage onto multiple people. Look at his items. It's not even a lot of damage, but when you follow up that kind of engage with a lot of damage, that's just all you need. Chico guys though gets taken with a lot of damage as well. 1,600 true damage coming in from Soriano. At this point, that is way too much to be ignored.
Yep. And now Yam's trying to giving some information, looking towards the jungle in the bottom lane. He's only find Villa Luna, but now with the rose gold meteor in the hands of the Padap, it will give him more shield, even though he has a low HP here. But he doesn't have to worry because he will get extra shield, the additional shield to make him to stay alive.
Eyes on the bottom lane right here. That was a close situation. Soriano trying to push the wave, but Moon is just waiting so patiently. He knows that eventually the Lord will be the target for the Philippines. He is waiting for a great flank opportunity. If he can take Imam or Soriano out, that might just spell doom for the Filipinos. But in the top side, Dapadap is just taking away so much pressure. And now they're using that macro pressure from Dapadap to get more advantage, more control in the Lord Pit.
But no one knows where's Moon, because Moon is still hiding inside the bush in the bottom lane here. And Philippines, they want to try to bait Malaysia. They want to try to bait in the lower pit right now. They want to force the team fight with Malaysia, as Dapadap trying to make some distraction in the top lane.
Moon is spending so much time in the bush here. If this pays off, this is some big brain 5,000 IQ play. Chico guys though, very tentatively moving around the Lord Pit. He knows there are members. The conceal play is being used though. Feather airstrike is being used. The stun from Villa Luna. The snipe coming in from Soriano. But that will be it. And look at Moon. He is on a mission. He is undercover. And the Malaysians know they have an opportunity here. They are moving in. Dapadap, I think he used the electric final blow. But look at Formace coming in. Oh, there's an overturn being used by Moon, but it does not land. Soriano, he's alive, but he's jumped on by Formace. It won't be enough though. Everyone else, it's Formace against the world. But Soriano is just snapping him down. That's a mega kill picked up as Del Rosario bullies away the Malaysians. And they are forced to back away.
They are trying to find Soriano who stay in the backline, but it failed. Malaysia, they use Moon and also for Mace, but it failed. Now it's gonna be 4 versus 5. Yams, the ultimate is already being used by Imam, and the immortality broke from Yams. Another members down from Malaysia, and it's gonna be a Lord for Philippines.
They were able to get a tower at the top side, but that will be 2 members down and a Lord taken by the Filipinos. Soriano at this point, 5-0-4. But look at the items, Momo-chan. That is disgusting damage.
Wow, 12k for Soriano. He already got the Berserker Fury for the critical. He got the attack speed from the Windtalker, and also the highest physical damage coming from Blade of Despair, and a true damage coming from this endless battle.
That is just so much trading. He does not have to sit still and dish out that kind of damage. He can just occasionally poke down with the 1,500 true damage. And now with the Lord coming in, the Filipinos, they have arranged for the waves to come in at the right time. Formace, as you mentioned, Momo-chan, looking for an opportunity. But for now, the Filipinos are gathering with the Lord, trying to get some advantage. They are still worried about the engaged potential for sure. But now, look at Dapadap, just pushing everyone back in. Feather airstrike has been used to zone away, push back the Malaysians from their own tower. And will the Filipinos actually go for the end right here as the bottom final base turret gets taken out as well? From the looks of it, the Lord is still very much healthy. They can make a play, but they need to be very careful unless they get comboed like the last time. Formace still on the side, pressuring, threatening to flank, and that will ensure that the Filipinos will need to back away.
How disciplined Philippines, their playstyle, they don't want to force the team fight, they don't want to force a skirmish inside the base of Malaysia. As long as they can secure the 3 best turrets, they let the super minion goes in. Another Feather Aster comes in from Imam, trying to give a lot of poke damage towards Chiku, and now Chiku needs to go get out from that jungle.
Now with the wave in the bottom side, the Filipinos, they are just still very patient, very disciplined. They understand that they excel when they can control the tempo, when they can just poke around and deal damage from a very safe distance. So now knowing that the Malaysians, with their back to the base, they're just waiting and farming up a storm, Blade of Despair, and the Holy Crystal computed at the same time. That long-range burst damage is just gonna get worse and worse for the Malaysians.
Oh my god, the life of the Philippines life, I think, is relying on this Farsha and also Leslie, right? So with the item that they have, actually, it's enough for them to giving a lot of damage here towards Malaysia. So Malaysia, they have to be careful, especially they don't have. They don't have any answer how to go jumps into the backline, trying to shadow him in the first place. But Chiku trying to play with the 5 members of Philippines. They are chasing him away. The flicker is being used by Filaluna, and another 100 IQ play from Chiku. He's still able to survive, but immortality.
He goes with the petrify. He goes in for the engage, but it won't work. Look at Moon trying to get the burst damage down. It lands on 2 people, but it's not enough as Soriano takes out Moon. The Filipinos are on the hunt right now. Yums and Formis running away. Look at the HP bars drop. That will be Formis taken out. Yums is forced to back away and leave his Cormet behind. Chiku tries to make a play happen, but he won't be allowed to. Dapadap sends them home.
Wow. 2 members down from Malaysia, and now the Lord is free for Philippines. This is what I said before. They don't have any answer how to shut down Imam. Even though Chiku trying to buy a lot of time, but Numen the setup is open again by Filaluna, and look at the snipe damage coming from Zoriano. It just melted Chiku guys away.
2,300 true damage, and now Momo takes a lot of damage as Daffodab shoos him away. Yums now is the main target. Daytona's welcome. Just take him out. He is going to be very low as the Immortal actually is popped up. Momo trying to do damage, but it's been blocked by the Bulwark from Villaluna as Daffodab goes in with the Petrify. He is 1v2 right now, trying to make the plays happen. That's one Immortal popped, but that's the rest of the Philippines committing too hard actually as Formis comes in and punishes. The Winter Charge is being used by Imam, but he will eventually get taken out. Soriano is still alive though. He's still doing a lot of damage, but barely enough. The Philippines survive with all 5 members and end the game. That is going to be game number 1 going into the hands of the Philippines.
Wow, 1-0. The first game secure by Philippines. And I can say it's quite a dominating game for Philippines, since we know maybe a lot of team fights happened inside the game just now. But I also saw how hard actually Formay tried to defend the base in the last team fight, right?
It was so close. They were all so low.
I know, right? But the Lord is already marching down into the mid lane, and they don't have any base threat anymore. It means the Super Minion will just goes in and just anyhow end the game as soon as possible.
Exactly. That's why the lane management, the fact that the Philippines were able to actually manage the waves so that it crashes at the same time, and from then on, all they have to do is keep the Malaysians occupied trying to fend them off, and if they go for the Lord, they get killed in the team fight. If they go for the Philippines, as you can see, the Lord and the minions will take out the base. This is why that Lord is such an important tool to ending the game, and the Filipinos absolutely take advantage of that.
And yes, Soriano become the MVP for our first game. A lot of free space, a lot of free time for Soriano to get what item that he wants, you know. Wherever that he wants, he can get it because no one can shut him down. And Imam with the Pharaoh Astrike again and again. The Curse of Crow, the energy impact from Imam, the stun connects to all of the members from Malaysia. It seems that Malaysia, they are very, very confused how to go into the backline here, especially Dapadap with this Benedetta using that Petrify, right? So it can smell down everyone who is very, very low, and it's easy for Dapadap to chase him away.
I must say though that Moon on the Kagura, he was very crafty with his positioning. He was looking for opportunities to flank, but the Yin Yang overturn takes so much time to activate that Soriano can actually play around it, can flicker out from that threat. And I think if he was on a hero with a lot more dynamic, a lot faster of burst damage, I think this game would have been very, very different because for the most part, Moon was unable to find any big success in these team fights despite spending so much time trying to get into the right position.
I know, right? I just feel that maybe because of like 3 turtle objectives for Philippines, it makes Malaysia, they cannot find, you know, Philippines, they are just leading a lot of gold, a lot of level as well. So I think there's some differences, level and gold gap for Malaysia. What makes them very, very hard to at least defend their base. Because they cannot hold a lot of burst damage coming from Philippines, right? They have Imam, they have the Soriano. So I think it's quite hard for Malaysia because like maybe like you said, Arashi, Moon, using this Kagura, he needs some item. He can burst all of the members from Philippines meltdown with the Yin Yang overturn, but the problem is he needs one maybe lightning transient on also the Clock of Destiny to get all of the passive here so he can get the massive damage that but the match MVP goes into the hand of Soriano here with the 9 kill without no death at all.
No death at all, and look at the damage dealt to the damage taken ratio. That is 100,000 damage dealt and 25,000 damage taken. So this man is just not touched during the course of the game. He is just so solid, and he is just so aware, especially because he knows that he is one of the main threats for the side of the Malaysians. And in a way, that shows that the team is one-dimensional in how they want to approach the fight. But that also means they understand what the Malaysians are going to try and do. So he just outplays all the pick attempts, and the player spotlight is going to be on Imam for sure. Almost 70,000 damage dealt, 43,000 damage taken, only 1 death, despite the fact that he is also targeted. And there should be 1 more death, by the way, Momo-chan. But in that last fight, he uses the Winter Truncheon, and he instantly sells it and buys an Immortal, but buying more and more time. I don't know, man. The awareness, the reflexes from the Philippines is just absolutely insane right now.
Yeah, he has the immortality, even though it pop-ups, but it makes some time for Philippines to just cover him very fast, right? Because Villa Luna, even though we never seen a lot of a lot of setup from the Numian Blast, but they just need to be, a frontliner for Soriano. They just are relying on this guy because he know without that at all, no one can touch Soriano at the backline here. Because every time Forma is trying to open that Black Dragon form and trying to dive into the backline of Philippines, all of the damage from Philippines will melt him down.
That's the big problem. I mean, you do see that Villa Luna was able to just be in the face of Momo, and any damage being tried that Momo tries to impart onto the Filipinos, it just gets absorbed by the Guardian Bulwark. So it worked as intended per se, and again and again, even though there wasn't any big Numenon Blast that just ended a big team fight for the Philippines, you can see that occasionally it pushes the members of the Malaysians away, and occasionally it still picks off members like Chiku, like Momo, depending on the circumstances. So the flexibility of Villa Luna and how he wants to use the Numenon Blast is definitely a huge plus to their gameplay.
Yeah, the most important is how actually Villa Luna, he used the Guardian Bulwark on the perfect timing, right? Trying to hold a lot of damage coming from the Nibir's patient from this Momo, it makes all of the Philippines damage dealer very, very safe in the position, because no one can touch Imam, no one can touch Soriano. Like I said it earlier, Philippines, they are just lit so much gold and also the EXP. So it's totally a different level between Philippines and also Malaysia.
I wonder if the result of this game will be different if instead of sending Moon to be an assassin to just flank, they sent Formace instead. Because the only fights where the Malaysians were able to gain any momentum is when Formace was able to get a huge engage onto 3 people with the Petrify, with the Furious Dive, and then the damage comes in as follow-up. So maybe that is the winning condition that they can identify. We'll have to see what kind of adjustments will be done in game number 2.
Yes, in game number 2, we will see what will Malaysia do, because if they lose in this match, it means that they will be the next team they have to say goodbye in this tournament.
Ooh.
And it's very, very sad because we know how strong Malaysia, right? But it's a different, when I saw the first game just now, I just feel that it's not the Malaysia that I know. The Malaysia that I know, they like to play aggressive. They like to crush everyone. They don't care about... I know how Chiku, as the youngest, maybe the youngest player inside the team here, he wants to get more kill here. But the problem is, with the Akai, it's not easy for him as well.
Well, that's one thing, but also the fact that the lane pressure, it all comes back to that.
The line management.
Going up against a Farsa, how do you win that push battle? It's a Benedetta against the Yuzong, as you know. The lane pressure is what allows the Philippines to have so much more opportunity to roam around and get a lead in the early game, because it was supposed to be the Malaysians. If they keep going for skirmishes, I think the Malaysians has a better kit.
Yeah, but we will see what will happen in game number 2. But we will take a short break. So for you guys, don't go anywhere. We will be back after this.
Welcome to the Iesf 15 World Esports Championships Bali 2022 with me Sigit as your field host. So this is the second day of the Iesf 15 World Esports Championship Bali 2022, and we still have a lot of interesting match and games in the game category of eFootball, Tekken 7, CSGO, Dota 2, and also Mobile Legends Bang Bang. You can see full match schedule on our Instagram at the ISF. Of you missed the excitement of the day one, don't worry. Here's the recap day one of the ISF 15 World Esports Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to match number 3 of the day. The Malaysian Sensations taking on the Philippines. Still with me, Arashi and Momo-chan. This is Moshi Moshi speaking.
Mosi, Mosi. And they say, Mosi, Mosi means that hello, right?
It means hello, yes.
In Japanese, right? Hello, hello, Mosi, Moshi,
Exactly.
Moshi.
Hello, guys. How you guys doing? Because now we are into game number 2,
Game number
where
2.
we can see will the Philippines get a clean sweep unexpectedly against a contender as serious as Malaysia, or will Malaysia begin to attempt a reverse sweep?
Yeah, I just feel it's this is not the Malaysian that I know. The Malaysian that I know is very, very aggressive.
Barbaric?
Sorry?
Barbaric?
Yeah.
Langgar,
something-
langgar?
Langgar. But the thing is, Philippines, maybe we talk about these teams. If we talk about the Philippines team, they show us a passive fight, actually, a passive game since in the first day they came to the ISF, right? But it's totally different when they're against Malaysia just now. An aggressive play, they even invaded the jungle of Malaysia since in the early minute. It what makes the Philippines keep snowballing in the first game.
That is exactly what shut down Chico as well.
That's
As
right.
you mentioned, Momo-chan, he definitely wants to get more action in, but with all the damage coming in, with all the crowd control available, he was just forced to back away after, the second neutral objective? So for the Malaysians, if they want to fight the early aggression, they require good lane management and a solid mid laner as well. I mentioned it already, but I am not fond of that Kagura pick because
Me too.
it just takes way too much time for the damage to come through. And against a team as aware as the Philippines, we've already mentioned it, they will not allow that kind of damage to come in.
Yeah, that's true. Agree with that. Maybe the other burst damage such as Lunox or maybe Lilia could be
Yes.
the answer for Malaysia in the first game. But let's move on. Let's go into the game number 2. Philippines versus Malaysia. It's going to be the first pick for the Lang Malangkas team here. There's going to be a Yuzong ban out. A totally respect for Formace. And there's no joy as well because Malaysia totally had a nightmare because of that.
Ooh, the joy being banned by Malaysia. But remember, Momo-chan, there has been a pattern. The team on the red side usually comes out on top.
Yep.
Right now for the Philippines, though, I think it's not too different. It's the Yuchong being banned away. Of course, that part is different. But then the Iesf also banned out to ensure that if the Philippines want to go for that long range situation, I guess if Malaysia wants to pick up that Farsa, the Philippines won't really have a replacement. For now, though, Malaysia is content just batting out that Diggy, ensuring that if they want to go and grab the Filipinos in the middle of the fight, they can do so without any interruptions.
Diggy ban out from Malaysia. It means they want to secure more the crowd control hero here. Maybe such as Benedetta, or maybe they want to give a slow damage as well, right? But it depends on the last ban coming from Malaysia because Philippines, they ban out this Kaja. So it's left 1-1 open for Philippines in the hand of Soriano if they want to. But will Malaysia give it away to him?
Might be a bit too dangerous, but you can see that for the Philippines, what is the main focus? To ensure that we do not get caught. They understand that the Malaysians, they enjoy that very brutal playstyle where they just keep going in. So if they're able to actually avoid that engage from the Malaysians, you can see in game number 1, despite all the flanks, all the aggressive movements from Malaysia, they're able to kite back and comfortably just pick off the members of Malaysia one by one. But they will ban away this 1-1 from Soriano.
Yeah, I think it's a wise decision from Malaysia to ban out this 1-1 away because in the hand of Soriano, maybe not just Soriano, we know how strong 1-1 is after the weakness point breakup. I think it's gonna be a huge crossbow off-tank damage coming from this good lane, right? And Philippines, they have a chance to just secure this Valentina picks if they want to. A Valentina pick.
Valentina.
Is it gonna be the prio pick for Philippines or with the Farsia?
If they go for the Valentina, then they won't be able to use that long-range playstyle any longer. It will allow them, though, to be very much aggressive in the mid lane, but if they go for that Benedetta, it's still flexible, kind of, but for the most part, it might just go back straight to Dapadap, who was able to have so much impact, so much pressure in the previous game.
True,
Whoa.
Oh, I think it's not gonna be Feller.
Could it be? Could it be?
Is it? Yeah, maybe.
Valir.
Feller, if they want to, they can try to pick it. We know that this Feller has the anti-CC, right, from the ultimate itself.
True.
But Faramis shadow pick comes in from Malaysia. With the Cold Arthur, it will make all of the Malaysian team fight here will be more sustained. They will have a long team fight.
Right. But if we talk about the early game, though, usually the Faramis Cold Altar will keep your team alive, but can you have enough damage to dish it back? Because once you get taken out during the Cold Altar, it also means that you are out of the fight for a bit, and during that time, your allies get beat up anyways. So they go for the Valentina instead, and that Fredrin, denying it from Wise, potentially. But now...
And the reason as well why they ban out this Digi, right? Because they
Yes.
want the CC, the taunting that Fredrin has to for the team fight in the hand of Malaysia and Philippines. Is it gonna be another Farsia for Imam?
Maybe the marksman first, as I was
Or
about to say.
Okay.
Beatrix or the Leslie. I mean, the Leslie performed really well in the previous game.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, Momo-chan, this crowd control game is important. And for Formace, being on a Fredrin means that he can deal with Dapadap just that much better. Although it's still very much a skill matchup. And now for the Philippines, they will opt to go for that Lolita yet again. Probably providing protection and early game utility especially in that gold lane.
Yeah, even though Malaysia they picked this Batrix, or maybe even though they picked this Irital, Philippines they already has the counter here with the Guardian Bulwark coming from Lolita, right? So Malaysia, what will they pick as the third pick comes in right now? Is it gonna be the next gold lane? If they don't secure the gold lane right now, I think there's a chance as well for Philippines to just, you know, just ban out of the gold lane choices here, right? The golden option, they just can ban the Batrick, they can ban the Irital or Melissa if they want to, or even the Cloud. So giving a small options for Malaysia for the gold lane position, but it's gonna be Ruby.
Oh, Ruby, wow.
Another crowd control coming from Malaysia, because they know there's no DG in this game.
They also want to, I think, counter Soriano with the conceal because the Ruby can very much stop the movement of the Leslie despite still concealing. So I think that might be one of the main goals. For Malaysia, though, they had enough of that early game oppression coming in from Del Rosario. They ban out that Barats, but that means that the Philippines have an option here to go for a different jungler. The Fredrin is no longer available. The Granger comes to mind, but let's be real here. That is a very situational pick, so I don't think that will be the case.
Yep, okay, they're still thinking about the next banning phase for both of the teams. Philippines, they just ban out, okay, that Leomord is a good choices as well, because Malaysia, I think for sure this Fredrin will go into the hand of Formace, right? I never seen Chico play this Fredrin jungler, or maybe it's gonna be a Valentina jungler for Chico.
Well, you never know. But for the Philippines, banning with the Leomord means that the Malaysian is down. The Malaysian team members are down one engaged tool yet again. Final bans right here. And if the Philippines want to keep applying this kite back strategy, denying more engages will be important. But for the side of the Malaysians, will they ban away that Farsa? It was one of the main reasons why they were able to just get kills from so far away. It will be banned out by the Malaysians. So, what will Imam be playing? Will it be more aggressive picks, or is it someone with equally long range? Because usually when Iesf and Farsa are both down, Sicilian comes to mind, but in the current meta, man, it's going to be very difficult for you to survive in that laning phase.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. There's no high ground for Philippines because Malaysia, they respect ban this Farsia, and there's no Gashin as well because they know with the burst damage that can melt down all of the heroes from Philippines here, there's no sword pike, there's no Insandance as well from discussion, so they want to ban it away. They know how dangerous this hero, so we won't see it in the game number 2 here. Meanwhile, it's gonna be Irital Shadow pick coming from Malaysia.
Irithel here makes a bit of sense. It's a lane bully trying to shut down the Leslie from the early game. It will be locked in for Momo. But as you mentioned, Momo-chan, if they can get an assassin here, it's probably very beneficial. They have a chance to save that last pick to see if the Philippines do have a juicy, squishy backline that Chico can take advantage of with an assassin. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. Because for the Philippines, if they don't want to go for that, they still have the option of going aggressively with something like a Lilia, as we mentioned earlier. Oh, hang on.
Ooh.
Is this a statement by Imam? It is.
Ooh.
It's a Kagura, and it's gonna be. It's not locked in just yet, but the tank Guinevere coming in from Del Rosario, it is so annoying. It is so oppressive. It will be the duo, essentially, Villaluna and Del Rosario, just
Wait.
two-man tanking it for the team. Will that be enough damage, though? We'll have to see.
I was thinking another question though, actually, RC. Is it gonna be enough tanky for Philippines, right? With just only Lolita in the hands of Villaluna, it means that Philippines, they have to play more aggressive with this kind of draft. They have this Guinevere, they have the potential with the crowd control from the Violet requirement, and also I just feel that Imo want to show to Malaysia like, hey, this is how you play Kagura. You know, I'll show you in the game number 2. And now the last pick for Malaysia, it will goes into the other jungler, which is it's gonna be other Akai, another Akai pick from Malaysia.
Oof. If it's another Akai pick, then the backline will be still
Ooh.
very much invulnerable. But oh, wait, it's going to be a Dairoth in the jungle. All right, it's Chico on the Dairoth jungle. So expect a lot of action in the early game for sure. But now, this is the question. I think, can Malaysia get some steam in the early game? Because later on, if Imam and Soriano scale up and do a lot of damage, it's going to be very tough for Malaysia to actually find an opportunity to punish their squishiness in the back line, because they have gone for a bit of a front-to-back composition themselves.
Interesting to see, but Malaysia looking very, very strong from the draft since in the game number 1 actually. But the problem is, how do they initiate it inside the game later? How the execution will works for Malaysia? They have a lot of CC coming from Ruby. They have the Fredrin, but the problem is they have to make some space for Ilitel to just secure his item.
Now that it's a front-to-back from both these teams, I do feel that the gold lane that gets ahead first will be able to melt on the frontliners faster. That usually is how it goes when a mirror front-to-back composition game comes along. But ladies and gentlemen, we are into game number 2 between the Philippines and the Malaysians. We'll see, can the Malaysians equalize or can the Filipinos claim the victory?
Let's see. Is it gonna be 2-0 for Philippine Langs Malangkas, or is gonna be Malaysia Langgar for his game?
Malaysia Langgar will be fun to see for sure, but before doing that, they need to have that lane control, and so far, with the different picks in the lanes, it is a lot better.
Agree with that, but I think Philippines, they still need to see how these Chiku guys play with this Daira, right? Because this is the first time that I see Chiku with this Daira as a jungler position.
Exactly, it's not exactly an orthodox pick, but look at the mid side. Imam trading out against Moon, already getting a bit of an advantage, and Soriano on this Leslie. You would think that he is going to be losing, right? He's going to actually have a tough time in the lane, but he's actually holding his own against Momo. And that is a bit concerning for the Malaysians for sure, but we need to wait and see, can Chiku start getting the ball rolling? Obviously, at level 4, that Abyssum Strike will be one of the main key factors, key tools in the big team fight. The turtle is spawning in 20 seconds though, but there we go. That is an engage by Yums. Vila Luna is forced to flicker away, and they go win with Abyssum Strike. That is a first blood in the mid lane, however. Imam shows the Malaysians how it's done, and on the bottom side, yet another duel, and Momo attacked the minions a bit too much there, and Soriano is able to secure a very good trade.
Really a good hook damage coming from Soriano, but as 1-for-1 in the early minutes here for both of the roamers, I think it's quite fair for Malaysia as well, right? But Vila Luna tank a lot of damage coming from Malaysia with the Guardian Bulwark. Meanwhile, they want to try to contest this turtle.
Chico guys going for the turtle, still getting petrified though with the Electro Final Blow combo. There we go. Turtle actually gets taken by Dapadab. That is a disaster as Chico gets taken out, and now the rest of the team will follow as Yums is being knocked up. He gets taken out by Del Rosario. Yin Yang Overturn is located, but it doesn't actually land. And Del Rosario actually picks up one more as Soriano comes out of nowhere. Moon trying his best to survive, but it won't be enough as Dapadab goes straight back in. The Filipinos are taking control right now.
If I was Soriano just now, I will just say, hey, can you just give me the kill points? I need it actually. And the part of it just, anyhow, okay, I will just use my Phantom Slash to finish it.
He walked all the way there and he did not get that kill, but here we go. I'm offended being used, and Vila Luna gets taken very low as Momo. He's walking around, keeps attacking again and again. He is still alive, not for long though, but can the trade back be secured? Yums will be able to deny that, and the Malaysians get a bit of a small victory. The snipe from Soriano. Combo with the overturn though. That is Moon making the plays happen, and Soriano picks up one more kill. Abyssum Strike though will take out Imam as a consequence. And we have a game in our hands, boys.
Wow, at least it's 1-for-1 for both of the teams right now. And look at the combo that comes from the Yin Yang Overturn pop-ups by Imam. It makes sure that one member from Malaysia, of course, will be dead.
Ooh, here we go. The Luminous Blast being charged up. Vila Luna with the flicker actually won't be able to secure as Momo will jump away with the ultimate. But now with 3 members down here, the snipe is being used by Soriano, but they won't be able to secure any kills just yet as Chico is all over the map trying to farm up. He is one of the main win conditions for the Malaysians. Maybe we'll see a play happen in the top side.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dapadab. Ooh, the flame shot. coming from Imam, and Moons need to be forced to using that flicker to run away to get out from the death
Del
for himself.
Rosario, he just comes in and tries to secure the kill with the Retribution. Unfortunately, it is very slightly off. And now without the Retri available for just a while here, they're going for a play. It's still a 3v2 right now. Electro Final Blow has been used as Chico gets very, very low. A Wisdom Strike onto the turtle, but it's still alive. Retribution will secure the turtle finally, and the Malaysians will be able to survive, save Chico, and it's no one downed from either team.
Yeah, it's almost done though for Chico, but he's still able to run away from it. And how the Padap used that Phantom Slash to just go in and go out. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, a Nomian Blast setup as well. Just make sure that no one can shut Zoriano down in the bottom lane, because two members from Malaysia trying to chase him away. With a really a good cover coming from Momchu, and it's not gonna be another target down in the bottom lane.
That is very great defensive use of the Nomian Blast. The Little Wanderer will be taken away, but look at that. That is a Yin Overturn being used, and the Malaysians are taken very low, but they are not backing down. Right now, Amaparat is being used, and that will be Villa Luna taken out, and Formaze pressures away the rest of the members. But you can see Dapper waiting for an opportunity. I don't think he will be finding anything too crazy right here. As the Malaysians, they converge on the bottom side. If they're lucky, they might just catch Soriano off guard here, as Formaze is trying to delay the collapse coming in from the rest of the Filipinos. But I think right now the Malaysians will be able to get that turret, but Luminous Blast being used by Moon, stolen away from Villa Luna, as Chico guys will be able to take out Del Rosario. But as a result, that is two members taken out, and Dapper has arrived. Three members running away from the full brunt of the Filipino aggression. That will be Formaze taken out as well.
It's 3-4-1, an advantage and a lot of benefits from Malaysia, even though they have to lose the bottom lane here. But three members down, and it's gonna be the fourth one, which is it's Chico guys, who will be punished in the middle lane, Arashi.
Just constant back and forth here. Chico guys, after the initial fight, he gets caught out yet again, and the Filipinos are able to equalize the trade in the bottom side, taking out that turret as well. Map control is still very much contested here, but I can't help but feel on a tank jungler, Del Rosario is going to have a lot better time contesting for these neutral objectives.
Agree with that, and let's see what will Malaysia needs to do here, because now Philippines, they are trying, you know, it's the moment when you play Mobile Legends, you know that you have a feeling, okay guys, we are snowballing right now, so this is time for us to just giving a more pressure towards our opponent, right? And now this is what Philippines do. They are trying to giving a lot of pressure to Malaysia, and they want to play and to get more objective turrets even in the top lane.
As we say that the Yums gets bursted down, he will be able to survive as the Numinous Blast has been used. The Malaysians are coming in to try and back up their top side. Momo and Yums though, Amaparat being used, Villa Luna gets taken under the turret, but he will still be able to survive as Chico guys comes in. He gets bursted down though, Yin Yang Overturn along with everything else. He gets taken out as Yums will be forced to back away. Soriano with the snipe will not be able to secure the kill, but look at the flame shot! Actually lands onto Yums, and Formaze will be forced to back away. He is stuck under the turret though, as Moon will try to recall, but they might spot him as well. Formaze gets taken out. Moon will survive with his life. The turret will be the next victim for the Filipinos though.
Can you see the zoning again and again coming from Philippines? It makes Malaysia, they are so much in the hard situation right now. They cannot force themselves to go back with the recall. They have to let Philippines to do their things in the top lane just now. No one realized actually the Yin Yang Overturn comes out from Imam, and also the flame shot that really on point from Imam. It makes Malaysia, they have to, sometimes you have to prepare for this kind of stuff, right?
Oh. Here we go though, more stuns being used as Villa Luna is just relentlessly treating the Malaysians with a lot of pressure. But still, for now, both teams are just waiting for the next objective. They don't want to risk losing members before the objectives start spawning out. We talked about the Kagura not being so good, but Imam is proving me wrong right now.
Oh!
As right here, look at that, engaged on the turret though. Like the final blow being used with the Petrify as well.
Oh, no,
that is the Malaysians falling apart. Double kill for Imam yet again. But look at Momo dealing the damage, dealing the DPS. Formaze trying to help him out, but that's 5 members against 2. The Rosario comes back in, threatens away pushes the Malaysians away from the rest of the roster, and they will still be sieging with full roster. 5 members and the stun
it's
though
flick.
being used by Formays with that flicker. Soriano very low, taken out with the Prince's Wrath, and now Momo is a free hitting as Formays is stopping all the momentum. But look at that knockup, won't be enough as the members of Malaysia spawn back, and now they can go for the Lord without Soriano on the field.
Oh my God! Now Malaysia, they want to force the Lord fight here in the lower pit, and it's gonna be a disaster. If Philippines, they cannot counter it back. Now 5 members from Malaysia, they are chasing Villa Luna away with the Guardian Bulwark up, but the town connects to Villa Luna, and it's gonna be another target that's coming in from Malaysia, which is Villa Luna. There's not gonna be another, no myanmar setup from Philippines.
No frontline for the Philippines right now as Formays deals a lot of damage to Dapodap, but he is alone right now. The follow-up comes in from Del Rosario, but the rest of the Malaysians zone away Soriano and Imam. The Lord is still doing a lot of damage to the Malaysians though. This is a dangerous situation as you see Del Rosario flanking around, having his eyes on Chiku as Yums gets very, very low. And now it just back down to the setup as Formays actually walks right in front of him. Is there going to be a big play though? Dash does not land, and the Lord is started by the Filipinos. And in the top side, they see Momo on the field. So this might just be a free Lord taken by the Philippines. They're trying to rush it down as Formays tries to do something, and Chiku goes for the steal, but he gets knocked up. Not just stunned right here though, but the Luna, the fallout from Dapodap as well. That is 2 members down from the Malaysian squad, and the rest will follow through. Shutdown for Formays, but actually Momo picks up a shutdown as well. He's kiting so well right here, and Dapodap cannot find the kill as Yums is still in the front, but he's alone. He's left by the rest of the members, and you can see that they do not want to let him escape. Villa Luna still beating down on him, but they decide to go for the Lord, and on the top side, Momo is forced to deal with the waves.
The K thing, how long the fight? It was amazing. Numian Blast setup. 3 members got stunned, and the Pada followed it very, very fast. And the Lord is going into the hand of Philippines right now.
That is the Lord secured. Yums tries to do a lot of damage as Momo is still free hitting again and again. He is not under control right here as Villa Luna gets taken out. He's unstoppable, but for how long? He gets bursted down by Soriano with the snipes. Filipinos are not done just yet though as the flame shot nearly takes Yums out, but Formays is alone, struggling for his life with the Prince's Wrath. It won't be enough as Imam picks yet another kill up. Chiku in the front, Yums trying to survive, but he gets taken out as his immortality is popped up. Moon tries to do damage, but Soriano will continue gunning down the members from Malaysia. That is a 3-4-1 right now, and the Lord is walking down the mid lane.
It's insane, Arashi. Did you see the K thing? It keep happening from Philippines and also Malaysia. And did you see that Formays deal a lot of damage towards Soriano, but it's not easy to take him down. And now the Lord is marching down inside the base, into the base of Malaysia.
Ooh, Stone Overton Blast being used, but Imam goes in instead.
What?
Mina Overton does not succeed in landing. Chico, guys, takes out Imam. That is a great pickup as the Malaysian look for some more. Chico goes in, but the Petrify like the final blow combo used by Dapodap. He's unstoppable. He's going in 1v5. He finally gets knocked down. Wait, he is still terrified, but he is going for Moon. Moon, very, very low right now, but that is a shutdown picked up by Momo. Ooh.
Wow, Dapodap. He tanked all of the damage. 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, trying to give some distraction in the other lane just to make sure all of the members from Philippines, they're actually very, very low, can go back and recall safely to their base. This is amazing plays that are coming from Dapodap. But I realize Formays, he also tried so hard to be the front laner for Malaysia, and he hopes that actually the damage dealer from Malaysia, which is it's gonna be Momo, can try to follow him up. But the problem is not easy as well for Momo because he needs to pay attention with his positioning.
That is a concealed play by the Malaysians though. Villa Luna will be the primary target, but he will be able to escape as Moon dashes in though. He is in the sight for a big Numinum Blast.
What?
It actually lands onto Yums, but the snipe coming from Soriano will take him down. Dapodap gets very, very low. The Yin Overturn is used onto Formays. That's a double kill for Soriano. The rest of the roster from Malaysia, 3 members running away, and the Filipinos have a 1-4-2 trade.
Oh my, I'm so confused, honestly, because it's very, very It's very long team fight, yes, and it's very chaos here. Malaysia, they seems refuse to surrender. They seems refuse to give up, and they still want more. I mean,
Blast lands! Oh my god, that is Yum's getting taken out. Unstoppable.
What?
And Momo, very, very low, but he'll be able to survive. The snipe lands on the Chico instead, and the Malaysians are on the back foot. It's a 4v3, but Formace is up right now. He is relatively squishy, but he has enough crowd control to spell disaster for the Philippines. They're clearing the waves, and the Philippines recognize the threat. Formace leading the charge, looking for something more, but it does seem like the Philippines will be able to back away as Dapidap already proactively pushing on the other side of the map.
Did you see the damage from Imam towards Momo? With the yin yang overturn connects with the umbrella? It makes Momo has to at least respect with the magic damage that Philippines has. But look at that, the final requirement open up again and another setup from Villa Luna. And I think it's gonna be a fight for Philippines here.
Moon tries to do a lot of damage, but it won't be quite enough. Villa Luna will eventually get taken out, but Formace is out of the battle as well. Momo is doing a lot of damage, but he gets taken out on the other side. Chico does his best with the Abyssum Strike, but Dapidap is just so lethal right here.
My
Dashing
God.
around. Soriano with the monster kill. Yum's now the final target. Imam picks up yet another one, and that is a wipeout for the Filipinos. They are pushing, they're looking for an opportunity here. There is 16 seconds on the shortest death timer of the Malaysians, and they think they have a chance here. Soriano pushing the wave, cutting it as soon as possible. 8 seconds for Formace, the tankiest member. Will the Filipinos be able to take him out before he stops the minion waves? Here we go, the base very low. Formace spawns, but it won't be enough. Look at Matatak! The Filipinos have done it!
2-0 for Philippines without any sweet refrains. That coming from Malaysia. What a clean sweep for Philippines, and good game well played, Malaysia. You guys did your best, but you guys have to say another goodbye in Iesf 14 World Esport Championship. What a fight, what a game. I just saw, there's so many things happen inside the game just now, Arashi. We see a lot of kiting by both of the teams. We've seen forward and back team fight from Philippines and also the Malaysia. How hard for Mace and the others from Malaysia try to defend and turn back the table, but it's just not happening for Malaysia.
It's a very bloody battle coming in from both the Filipinos and the Malaysians.
Agree.
It definitely was not an easy victory as we take a look at some of the highlights, Momo-chan. That game was just full action all the way from the first minute.
Since in the early game, agree with that, Arashi. And I don't know, I just feel that Malaysia, it's very, very hard for them because even though Momo almost got the momentum here to at least keep giving a pressure by all of the basic attack, the heavy crossbow coming from Momo, the problem is the same reason actually is happening as well in the game number 2 because Malaysia, they don't have any answer how to stop Soriano. Every time Formace try to do 1 versus 3 and 1 versus 4 situation here, there's no a follow-up. There's no a fast follow-up coming from Malaysia. It makes Formace always be the first target to get punished by Philippines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Numian Blast setup from Villa Luna.
It's just used as a counter setup, knowing that the Malaysians, they want to go in and get those kills as well. They keep trying to get Soriano and Imam, but at the same time, everyone else is just so lethal here. Del Rosario with the utility, Dapidap just going in and out. You barely see it, and we talked about, again, I'll admit full defeat here, okay? I said Kagura was questionable. Imam says, really? Let me show you how it's done.
Yeah.
This man was absolutely crazy in this game. From utility, from the pickoffs, I think Momo was solo killed again and again, especially in that late game.
Yeah.
And overall, having access to so many burst damage abilities, like the Electro Final Blow, like the knockup coming in from the Rosario, the Numenon Blast, the snipes, the true damage of Soriano, and the Yin Yang Overturn. The Filipinos were just so much better at finding opportunities to just burst down the backline from the Malaysians.
And I have to give a big applause for Dapidap. He made this happen, in the early game, he tried to crush everything. He tried to even chasing all of the members from Malaysia that looks very, very low, right? Even though sometimes he has to be countered back by Malaysia, but at least he got one Arashi.
Wow.
It's always 1 for 2 or maybe 1 for 1. It's enough for Dapidap.
It's almost like a different formula here because Formes was also just taking a lot of attention, putting a lot of pressure on the rest of the rosters. But he is, in the end of the day, a utility tank, and Dapper was just lethal going in and out. If you ignore him, he will take you out before you even realize. So there's just so many problems for the side of Malaysia. And if there was one guy, they can probably take him out. But when everyone on the side of the Philippines can dish out that much damage, it's just such a tough game.
Wow, and MVP goes into the hand of Imam, who said, let me teach you how to play Kagura here with a 0 kill and a 77k damage deal by the Yin Yang overturn, by the umbrella that he used. It's enough for Imam to giving a lot of burst damage here towards Malaysia, especially the Malaysia composition team fight here. They need to get close each other, right? So the Valentina need to copy the No Man Blast setup from Lolita. Frederick need to knock up someone and also need to do the taunting stuff. And Ruby using the I'm Offended. So it makes all of the players from Malaysia who stick together, it's easy for him to just show up the Yin Yang overturn. And the Villa Luna, again and again, if we talk about Mamshu, we know how great this player, right? All with the Lolita, with the Ruby, even the No Man Blast setup. It changed everything for the Philippines. Sometimes it can turn back the table. Sometimes it can be the cover as well for the Philippines teammate here. So with the 16 assists and also the damage taken, 94k.
Basically 95k.
Basically, yeah.
He is so flexible,
Absolutely
knowing what to
crazy.
what to do and when to do it. He just knows. Is it experience? Is it game sense? Is it instinct? Whatever it is, Villa Luna absolutely has it. And as you mentioned, Momo-chan, with Imam as well, sometimes his damage taken was quite high as well because he understands that, okay, you can treat the kill back to me, but if I take Momo out of the equation, that is going to be Soriano just gunning everyone down. And that Leslie was just a huge, huge problem. And despite the fact that in this game, there was no long-range artillery, Imam makes it work. So it's not the hero, it's the player.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Malaysia, they don't have enough time to at least make the score 1-1. They have to let the tournament goes. They have to say goodbye with 2-0 point for Philippines. Even Momo become the MVP here. He already got his item. Like I said it earlier, it was very, very close for Momo, right? He almost got his momentum, but the timing is just too late for Momo. Maybe not only for Momo, but all of the member here. For Mace, he already secured that brute force burst split and also the Athena seal to totally respect the magic damage coming from Philippines here, from Del Rosario, from this Kagura, especially with the burst damage. But it's not enough because the Philippines is just way too strong.
The thing is that Momo has a lot of damage, but there's a lot of burst damage on the side of the Philippines as well. So
That's right.
it only takes one single moment for him to miss position, and it's over. But of course, we'd like to extend, a very warm, massive thank you to our supporters, Wonderful Indonesia, Kemenpora, NOC, and Koni, and of course our sponsors, JHL Group, JHL Auto, Nusa Pay, Das, Gudang Crypto, Pertamina, Taiwan Excellence, Hydro Coco, IndyHome, Telkomsel, Hin, Episode Hotel, Merusaka Nusa Dua, our beautiful venue, Mineski Global, Indonesia Football E-League, ESID, and Lemon ID.
And thank you for all of media partners that we have. We have Net TV, Trans7, Deticom, Esport ID, Video.com, Dunia Games, Dance TV, Dance Play, Merah Putih, Bola Score, and also Kami Bijak. But I think we have to pass away to Mas Gary, Uncle Gary.
Uncle Gary.
Our Uncle Gary for the interview. So please take it away.
All right, thank you, Moshi, Momo, and Arasian. Guys, we have Filipina once again beat their enemy. They're gonna go to next round versus Cambodia. Okay, so I will ask you guys, what is your plan for tomorrow's?
We're gonna rest and have some sleep because our match is too early and we have too much for a day. And a little celebration, we're gonna eat ayam betutu.
Ayam betutu. What about you? What is your plan for your rest day for tomorrow?
I need to sleep and I need to swim.
He wants to swim. I don't know why, but he wants to swim. Okay, anyway, guys, that is the last match for today on ISF 14 World Esports Championship Mobile Legends Bang Bang. So for tomorrow on air stage, we will have e-football match. So you have to watch once again on ISF 14 World Esports Championship. Thank you for watching and I'll see you around, guys. Goodbye!